everybody, this is Diane. Welcome to Biters.
And this is Marnell.
And I don't have anything funny to say. Marnell and I have just been talking about how grateful we are that we aren't living, like in Syria or Uganda or something like that. So
yeah, Di and I really have first world problems, so we can't complain. I mean, they're not like zombie apocalypse war problems.
Sometimes they feel that way.
I know. When the engine blows on your truck, or you have to repipe your entire house for plumbing, sometimes you just have to laugh or you'll cry.
And we'll let you guess who is who. So we are podcasting The Key, which is season 8, episode 12. And I'm going to let you rate it first because you loved it.
Okay, so I am just here to talk Diane off the ledge. I'm having a really hard time not rating this episode a 5 because I loved it that much, and you guys know that I don't rate episodes 5 because that's usually saved for like world premieres,
no way, you did a 5?
Series finales. I lowered it from a 4.9 to a 4.89 Flaming Lucille's.
Wow.
I loved this episode. Everything that I said last week about that episode, forget it. It's totally different this week. I knew this was going to be a great episode. When I saw the teasers for this week's episode last week, like just Simon looking in the mirror and letting it happen.
I just kept thinking about you saying how great the teasers were, and I was like, it must have been a teaser for the remainder of the whole season.
It was this episode, and I loved it. And I'm here to talk you through it. It's okay. It'll be okay. So what did you rate it?
Well, I will give Thomas O'Mara's rating first because I thought it was really funny, and I have to edit a little bit, bless his heart. He's a man after my own heart. It's 3.5. Why the F do you need records out of 5? I was expecting Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to come out of the van.
Oh, that is amazing. I would love for you to be on this episode, Thomas, to talk you down, but I think I'm going to veer in a direction that you're not going to like, so gird your loins.
So mine was 3.75 out of 5 creepy characters out Eugening Eugene.
Oh, who are you creepy characters out Eugening Eugene?
I really thought Georgie was kind of creepy.
I'm like, she's weird and untrustworthy, but somehow I want to believe her. So we'll get into that.
We will.
3 point what?
3.75. So it wasn't like I gave it a 3.
Anything under 4 is a travesty. Oh, wait. So what are the things that we're not supposed to say?
Oh,
You know.
And I think right. I think right is probably, bless your heart. I forget the name of the guy who wrote it, but I'm pretty sure that he was sick of hearing me say right.
Okay. I think I say it a lot too.
I do too.
So,
well, my God, we both were just talking about our first world problems, and we were not only comparing them in exactly the same way without communicating, but there was something else we rated in exactly the same way without communicating. It was kind of creepy, actually. It was kind of Georgie-esque.
Yeah. You and I, we're like those twins that know when the other one is calling before caller ID was a thing.
Right.
Ah, you said it.
Oh, see, but we're like those creepy little twins in the horror movie.
Yeah. We are. I need a gong every time we say we're right.
Where's Phil when we need him?
Oh, so do we have numbers?
Well, I think these are the same numbers that I had from last week. And I just want to say real quick, Brian Maloche, I hope I'm saying your name right, said TV by the numbers is where we get the Live +3 and Live +7, which I know that's actually where I get my numbers. And he's right. He said, but they haven't been very consistent lately. They've missed some weeks. and I agree. So thank you for that, Brian. That's where I've been looking. If you've got any other sources, feel free to share them. So we had 6.6 million same day views for Dead or Alive or, which I think I have those numbers because we podcasted so late last week.
Yeah.
I do have some Live plus 7 for Lost and the Plunderers. So they had 6.8 million same day views, and they added another 10.6 million in Live plus 7. So they were actually up in the 17 million in the Live plus 7 views.
Every week I see how, it's a ratings low again for The Walking Dead, and I'm like, it's still number 1, so STFU.
Well, and I think it's right. I mean, we were talking earlier about a couple of episodes ago about how our viewing habits have just changed so much. And I think that this is really truth. I mean, when you have a larger same day or a larger 7-day view than you do the same day view, when you're adding
double, when you're doubling
when you're more than doubling your numbers in Live plus 7, it's just a testament to how much our viewing habits have changed.
Yes.
So
yes. We are no longer like Thursday night must-see TV. We are watch at your leisure TV.
Right. Ooh, there we go again.
We? Who's we? You said it.
I know, twice.
It's a thing now. Like, we're not going to be able to unhear it.
And the thing is like, I actually have a soundboard that I downloaded in honor of Phil, and I can't get to it because of the little ad that keeps coming up. It's kind of ticking me off, man.
Lame.
So the only board I have access to is the board that I won't use because it will offend people.
Well, I'm probably going to offend a quarter of our audience tonight, so it's okay.
Oh, you mean you're going to piss off Brian and Thomas?
Yes! Those are exactly the two I was thinking of. I love you guys. Bear with us. You know you love your Real Housewives of Alaska, so yeah.
Speaking of which, Omara, PM your address to me because this Real Housewife has something small to send to you. Anyway, it's worth it. Trust me, it's not a package bomb, I swear. Too soon?
Oh.
All right. Enough with the numbers. Enough. So the writers, I'm not going to belabor Corey Reed, Channing Powell. We've talked about them before. Director was Greg Nicotero, and all I could figure was because this episode was so zombie heavy.
Yeah. Plus, he had to be on the one with the fully nude zombie.
Which was the fully nude zombie. I'm so embarrassed. I think I might have caught it on the second watch. It wandered up as the car was flaming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't even really see any full frontal zombie.
Its bits had fallen off long ago.
So could you tell if it was a male or a female zombie? Because it was pretty blurry to me. I was like, is that the naked zombie? And my husband was like, yeah, that was the naked zombie.
If it was a female naked zombie, she was an A cup. Which, respect, shout out girl, like, it's fine. It takes all kinds to make a world. But I'm pretty sure it was a male zombie and something had been nibbling at its tits and bits. So, yeah, that's where it was bit.
You know,
get cheer you up.
You can die and turn wherever you get bit, right?
Right.
So it should be don't get bit there.
Don't get bit, and apparently now don't get hit.
Right. But we don't know that. We really don't know that yet. Nothing has been proven.
Yeah, nothing's been proven, but
I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm thinking that it could have been just as easy for Gabe to have had some other horrific virus that could cause very similar symptoms and not cause him to become a zombie. There are lots of viruses out there. I was going to say, we live in a first world and people still die of the flu. So it's a thing. And dental abscesses. Yeah. Sepsis. The flesh-eating bacteria. Like, I've had MRSA before. Gee, I wash my hands every time I go to the bathroom and I got MRSA. Like, how did that happen? Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. We're all very reassured now. I stopped pushing elevator buttons and opening doorknobs with my bare hands. Oh my God, you're like that detective Monk.
Oh, I am.
You probably carry latex gloves in your pocket.
I started a new job this past 2.5 weeks, and my boss was sick this Monday, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere near her. Like, I saved up all my questions for today when she felt a little better.
That's really funny.
I am not going to be patient zero.
I'm just going to start calling you Monk from now on. Or Anthony Shalhoub. I like that better.
Anthony Shalhoub, yeah. So I think we know what the title of the episode means, the key to our future.
Right. I mean, the only thing that I kind of thought literally was that, obviously the book is the key, but also Georgie herself is the key. If Georgie is being truthful, if she's not out Eugening Eugene.
Right. I said it twice. Right. There we go. A third time.
Damn it. Where's that soundboard when I need it?
Oh, okay. So Whisperer's Corner?
Sure. I don't have anything for Whisperer's Corner because I'm totally lame and forgot that it was a corner. What have you got?
Okay. The only thing that I have for Whisperer's Corner is they still have not dealt with the Lauren Cohan thing.
That is terrible.
I'm a little bit anxious. I'm very disappointed. Like, I guess you can kill Carl. Maybe you can kill Maggie. We're all talking about killing Rick. Don't kill Maggie. Like, just pay the woman.
Maggie's just got too much cool going on right now. They can't kill Maggie.
No, not unless you bring in somebody like Ruby Rose to replace her or something. Like,
I could do that. That would be okay.
I know. I was totally I saw a picture of Maggie today, and it totally reminded me of Ruby Rose, and I was like, that could happen. For those of you who don't know Ruby Rose, look her up on IMDb. She's got some great credits, one of whom is Orange is the New Black. There's John Wick 2, phenomenal actress. I love you, Lauren Cohan. I don't think Maggie could be replaced, but Ruby Rose could pick up the storyline. I don't know. Just pay the woman. Pay the woman. King Ezekiel said, pay the woman.
Yes. All hail the king.
Yes. So that is all I had for Whisperer's Corner. There wasn't much intrigue this week on Twitter or social media or anything like that. Not very many headlines. We are 4 episodes away from the season finale, so I think people are very focused on the show and not the actors themselves.
So I'm actually, for Whisperer's Corner, I'm going to kind of just say that points to House Slytherin. I'm telling you, the trailers for Fear the Walking Dead get like a 4.97 out of 5.
I have not watched intentionally. I'm like...
Okay, they were very small trailers, and they just focused primarily on Morgan, but I really liked them.
Okay, if they focus primarily on Morgan, that makes me want to watch them more, but other than my 3 shows that I absolutely love, I'm not really into teaser trailers. I want the extended trailer.
No, these were teaser trailers, but points for Slytherin is all I can say.
Yeah, if it's Morgan heavy, I can probably do it. I've been intentionally avoiding, but that's gonna make me watch them probably after the podcast.
All right, so featured cast. I did want to point out, I did not make them our featured cast, but Midge and Hilda are played by Misty and Kim Ormiston. So are they married? Are they sisters? I don't really know, but they're related to each other somehow, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of scuttlebutt about who Georgie and Hilda and Midge, where they're from. And I did kind of get the lesbian commune vibe from Hilda and Midge, so maybe they are married. I didn't even think of that because I didn't know they had the same last name, but that would be really cool.
All I can tell you is that Jane Atkinson, who plays Georgie, that suit was dreadful, and it was meant to be, I'm sure, right down to the little pearl earrings, but it was dreadful.
Who wears linen in the apocalypse? Ugh.
And after Labor Day.
Ugh. And those shoes just had like Skechers Fit written all over them. You know, remember the ones with the curves, so you get the little extra thing in your step.
Yes, that everybody ended up suing Skechers for.
Yeah, because it didn't really tighten your glutes like they were supposed to.
And it actually really messed up some people's feet.
Did they?
Yeah. Sorry,
I didn't mean to laugh at that, but that is kind of funny.
You did, you sick person, you.
Okay, I did. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so our featured cast member is Jane Atkinson, who plays Georgie, who is best known for not being Glenn Close.
Although I can see the resemblance. She's kind of a chubby Glenn Close.
Okay, and chubby and 12 years younger. But I seriously, when I saw her, I was like, huh, they got Glenn Close.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Look at Jane Atkinson's IMDb and then look at Glenn Close's IMDb and you will see it, and you will not be able to unsee it. And from then on, every time Georgie appears on the screen, you're going to think Glenn Close.
But it's like Jane Atkinson ate Glenn Close. I'm sorry, Jane. I'm sorry. As a former fatty, I'm sorry.
Oh, as a not former fatty, I am not sorry. It takes all kinds to make a world. No, and it's funny. Their IMDb pictures are both kind of from the shoulders up of them smiling at the camera,
and they have that angle, that downward angle.
They have the same hair and the same smile, and they look so much alike that somebody needs to cast them as sisters in a movie, and I will watch it.
Sisters. Sorry.
Well, they're 12 years apart, so they're kind of close to the age gap that you and I have. So
never were there such devoted sisters.
They could be the future Real Housewives of Alaska,
or the past Real Housewives of Alaska. Since
we're
future
Housewives of Real Alaska,
because we're a little younger than they are.
We are. No, I mean that's what I'm saying is they could play our flash forward.
There you go.
Yeah, and of course, because I'm younger, and I think probably at this point a little on the portly side than you are. Jane Atkinson could totally play me.
Okay, I'm very flattered. Thank you.
You're the Glenn Close.
That's because I'm the psycho bunny killer.
I'm the Mary. You're the Rhoda. Now we're getting way off topic into Romeo and Michelle territory.
But are you a Georgia or a Karen?
I'm a Karen.
Because I'm a Georgia.
Oh, I'm a Karen. I am so cynical.
That is really funny.
I other than her not really drinking because of her seizure medication, her and I are dead inside and we're totally soul sisters. Yeah. Yeah. Hashtag my favorite murder.
Right.
So back to Jane Atkinson. I actually know her best from Criminal Minds. That was the show that I know her from. She plays Director Strauss on Criminal Minds, but she has IMDb credits going back to 1986. So,
and I just want to point out, she has an X-Files credit from 1995, which I'm going to have to go back and watch that episode just in honor of her.
And you millennials will know her from Free Willy, and Free Willy 2. She played Annie. She's been in a ton. I mean, and it seems to be a lot of very socio-political crime drama, which I mean, that's basically all of TV besides Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
Oh, because Game of Thrones isn't socio-political at all.
Well, neither is Walking Dead. Not at all. We'll get into that. Stay tuned.
So also a lot of cynical political stuff like House of Cards and 24.
No, I really have. I've wanted to watch House of Cards, but my friend from Europe was like, you have to watch the British version first, and then you can watch the U.S. version, and then the whole what's his name happened.
I was going to say, I'm going to go all Me Too on you, sister, because American Beauty was my favorite movie. I am Lester Burnham. Hashtag I am Lester Burnham. Until Me Too, the whole Kevin Spacey thing happened.
I know, and I really want to
never watch House of Cards now.
No. Have you heard the new thing about House of Cards?
Oh, they're going to kill him off and they're going to make Robin Wright the lead, but it won't last.
Well, it wasn't supposed to. They were in there. They were only planning on one last season, but they were like, now we can't do the last season. And they're like, oh, wait, we can kill him and make her the lead. Hashtag time's up.
I think Jane Atkinson was like, I can totally jump from House of Cards to the #1 drama on television. No problem. Scooby Van and creepy Midge and Hilda, I can totally do it.
Okay, that actually makes me wonder if they had her in mind for casting or if she went out for the role and nailed it.
Dunno.
Yeah. But yeah, her other credits include Madam Secretary, which is another one that's like, it's way down on my list, but it's on my list.
We both have to face it. We're never going to get to the bottom of our lists.
God,
I just loaded 3 more books on my Kindle yesterday, and I'm like, when am I going to read these? Really, when am I going to read these?
You know, and between that and we've had some really good plays, and one of the local theaters is going to do a Neil Gaiman, and I know, right?
What are they going to do?
I don't remember. All I heard was Neil Gaiman.
I may have to come visit you for a weekend.
I know. We just watched Cyrano de Bergerac, which is one of my favorites.
You said it was really good.
It was. For those of you who don't know Cyrano de Bergerac, and you go and you read the synopsis for it, if it sounds really familiar, look up the movie Roxanne with Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah, which is...
And Gerard Depardieu.
Oh, really? I forgot about that. That's funny.
Wasn't Gerard Depardieu in it? I'm pretty sure he was.
I don't think so.
Really? Now I'm going to have to totally look it up. Was he in something similar, or was he in a version of Cyrano de Bergerac? Because I have a strong association, and not just because he is Francais.
He was in The Three Musketeers with Charlie Sheen and... Cutie McPie that played Robin in one of the Batman movies.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yes.
Chris O'Donnell?
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell. Yeah.
Okay, IMDb Roxanne. Oh, no, Rick Rossovich.
Okay.
So Steve Martin was actually Cyrano, and then Rick Rossovich was the guy who Cyrano was...
Yeah,
talking
Iceman's wingman from Top Gun.
Iceman's wingman. But now I want to know what Gerard Depardieu was in that I totally messed up because...
It was Three Musketeers. 10-1, it was Three Musketeers.
I don't know, man. Keep going. I'm looking.
I mean...
what a terrible picture of him. Poor Gerard.
Are there good pictures of him?
Oh, come on. That's mean. You're mean. He was in a version of Cyrano de Bergerac that was recorded in 1990. Thank you. Whoop, 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 whoop. You can't see me, but I'm so cool. Sorry.
To be fair, Gerard, there are no good pictures of me except for my very first picture on my license when I turned 16. So, yeah. I don't know, like, of all the things, my first license, like, everyone's like, oh, your picture's horrible on your license. No, it wasn't. It was great. Like, if that could be my profile photo for a dating app, that would be my profile photo.
That's funny.
And then maybe one picture at the beach in, like, 2002. I was looking over my shoulder. It was just a head and shoulder shot. Other than that, there are no good pictures of me. So anyway,
I hate the camera. The camera lies.
It does. The mirror tells the truth. I like I like to look at myself in the mirror a lot.
All right, Rick.
I love that Negan called him Prick this episode. I like that nickname.
He does that periodically.
If I were on Negan's side, which sometimes I am, I would totally call him Prick all the time. So clever.
All right. Back to Georgie. Do we have anything else to say about Georgie? She's got Broadway chops. She starred in a revival of the Rainmaker with Woody Harrelson.
Okay, there was Boomtown Blythe something.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, she's got a lot of big credits, a lot of one-offs. The Practice, Gossip Girl, Perception, Zoo. Yeah, she's one of those that like you know her from something, and she's not Glenn Close.
I'm not going to be bummed out about Miss Eugene Porter. Mrs. Eugene Porter is going to get a chance. But that's what I'm going to call her from now on. Mrs. Eugene Porter.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm ready to trust her. Like I haven't had my heart broken like Enid.
God. We're just going to call you Rick and Michonne and Shaloub.
Shaloub, Tony Shaloub.
All right, Shaloub, what's your good?
All right. This is where you're going to lose me, Thomas, Brian. Maybe Jeff and Kirk.
Not Kirk.
Reese. Yeah.
Jeff, but not Kirk.
So there were three main storylines this episode. One of them being two guys who were kind of up to no good. I mean, Dwight really wasn't up to bad, but he was kind of going along to get along. He's trying to think his way out of this, but he can't think two steps ahead like Simon does. The others were Negan and Prick.
Can we say that?
I think so.
I'm teasing.
Okay. So, who were fighting to the death and playing Grand Theft Auto and throwing it up with a flaming Lucille. And the other was 7 women who were planning for the future, trying to make things better, not fighting.
All right, that is super cool. I will give you points to Gryffindor for that. Points to Gryffindor.
Yeah, so #time's up, guys. Like, women are the future. The future is female. Like Maggie and Michonne and Enid and Rosita and Georgie and Hilda and Midge were all making plans.
I was going to say, don't forget Hilda and Midge, even though Clump and Moisture?
Moisture.
They're not the brightest bulbs in the future.
No, but there's a place for them in this future because the future is female and it takes all kinds to make a world. I keep saying it. I need a gong. But I absolutely loved that you had all of these guys fighting over breadcrumbs and trying to make their backdoor deals and things like that. And you had 7 women who were exchanging information and ideas and albums that were not spoken word, which was weird.
Which was unfortunate, and I have some comments about that, but that's okay.
But I absolutely loved that, Enid didn't shoot anybody. Oh, there we go. Round 1, fight.
Oh no, I think I found the right one.
Okay, the gong.
It's supposed to be a bat crack. I was thinking Lucille, but it's not a very good bat crack. Okay, that's okay.
That's a blacksmith sound.
Yeah, there you go.
It's more of a metal on metal. But I just, the women all working together for a brighter, better future and exchanging information and ideas and taking pity on one another. I mean, Georgie in the end who
gave up some food.
Right. Who
only took one crate.
Yeah. And, was just like, this isn't a giveaway. This is a deal. I will be back at some point in the future and I expect good things. And, I really, really loved that about this episode. And I know that I have lost a quarter of our audience, mostly male, that I'm just like, #time's up. Like, the future is female. Like, go forth, young woman. So.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh, has been a bad influence
He's a
on
terrible influence.
So that was my good. I had a hard time finding bads.
Okay, so if your good was that good, I can hardly wait to hear your ugly, because that was a pretty good.
Okay, my ugly is pretty good, so go ahead with your good.
So
if you have one.
I do. I actually have one. So my good was Jadis has Negan. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to point out. So first of all, Jadis is dressed completely differently. She has lost her I'm a goth, I'm an artist, I am so unique and special, look at me look. I mean, she's wearing a plaid shirt and a leather bracelet.
And it was a complete sentence.
Only
one, but it was a complete sentence.
And so I'm just wondering, what is she going to do with Negan? Is she going to give Negan to Rick? Is she going to end Negan herself? Is Negan going to weasel his way out and say, I didn't know, I just found out that Simon completely disrespected me and did what I didn't want him to do? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I thought the ending was good. I liked the ending, and not just because it was the end.
She is a wronged woman, and Negan better watch out, because #MeToo.
No, wouldn't that be #time's up?
Well, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Told you I was going to lose a quarter of the audience for us.
That is so funny. So that was my good. It was a very small good, but it was a good.
Well, but who knows what's going through her mind? Because like you said, on the one hand, I would think that she would want to, because she didn't kill him like just where he lay or whatever. She is going to use him for something. She's keeping him alive for some purpose. And so is that to barter to Rick, or is that to basically take him to Simon and trying to extract some sort of revenge, even though really Simon wants Negan dead? You know, what is going on in her brain now that we know she has a functioning one?
Poor Jadis. I bet you we're actually going to come out of this really liking Jadis.
Maybe.
Won't that be screwed up?
You know, I've seen a lot of things where they're saying that we're all wrong, that Jadis is not going to be Alpha, and that what's her name from Fear is not going to be Alpha.
Right, Thomas was saying that they've actually already cast someone as Alpha, and it's neither of those actresses.
Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen with Jadis, you know?
I don't know. Now I actually find myself kind of hoping Jadis survives.
Yeah, now that all the other trash people are dead, sure.
And now that we've got kind of a backstory and it's finished.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so what was your bad?
I had a really hard time picking my bad because I liked this episode so much. I mean, 4.89. I'm like, I can count on one hand how many episodes of everything that I've ever podcasted that is rated over a 4.8. So,
speaking of which, we have really got to finish Preacher.
We do.
Oh, God. All right.
By the way, was that a tulip that Negan was driving?
That is exactly what I said last night on the rewatch. I'm not entirely sure if it was a tulip. I think it was a slightly older version of my tulip, or it may have been a Challenger. Someone out there who is more car smart than we are. What was Negan driving last night?
So we kind of Googled it, and depending on the year, it does. I mean, the modern Chargers and the modern Challengers do look really similar, aside from some minute details. So it was one of the two, but I really think it was a Charger, which is Diane's Tulip.
It didn't look like Tulip, though, and it didn't have the same light configuration Tulip's got on the rear. So it was either an older Charger or it was a Challenger.
What are we in the zombie apocalypse now? 2010? Maybe 2012? So,
I mean,
it's nothing after that.
Good point. Now I'm going to have to Google a 2012 Dodge Charger and see what they look like.
Yeah, I think it was a Tulip, which is the pet name for Diane's Charger, and it's also, she named it after a character in Preacher, which we will hopefully podcast the final episode of season 2 before season 3 comes out.
Right.
So,
We've got, here we go. Sorry. We've got a little bit of time.
A little bit of time. It'll creep up. I'm sure life will get in the way and we will finally slam it out. So, But my bad for this episode, they were so I actually had to have kind of a whole bunch of little bads to make up one bad. There were some continuity errors that
I think it might have been a 2012-ish Charger. I don't know. Somebody out there who's more car smart than we are, please tell me.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a Charger. So my bad was some continuity errors. The walkers would not be that juicy. Maybe some fresh walkers were.
Well, so that's always the thing that I come to. Okay, I have to remember that the walkers aren't all walkers from the beginning of the apocalypse.
Right. But those looked pretty desiccated. So, and they seemed like they had been hanging on the wall for a while. So when they gutted them and there was liquid blood coming out of them, I'm like, I don't think so. Maggie said clips instead of magazines for her guns and ammo, which I know drives a lot of gun people nuts. Someone in this house couldn't get over it.
And it wasn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't me until it was pointed out. Now I can't unhear it. Gasoline does not ignite with the flick of a cigarette. It takes a lot of sparks to ignite the vapors off of gasoline.
Okay, and the thing that Nick pointed out was it was two different cigarettes.
Oh, was it?
He said that the first, and I wasn't looking, but he said the first cigarette had either no butt or had a white butt, and the second cigarette had a tan butt.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's true, but...
But, I mean, even Mythbusters went through this one where if you flick a lit cigarette into gasoline, it will actually put the cigarette out. Before it ignites, you have to have a lot of sparkage. So maybe if it had bounced off the car and made a whole bunch of sparks, but just flicking a cigarette into gasoline won't ignite it. That's a Hollywood thing. So when Rick hit Negan's vehicle, he hit it with the driver's side of his vehicle, and in the very next scene...
Oh, it was the passenger side that was jacked up.
Yeah.
Oh, good catch.
And the last one, this is the one that really, like, it sticks with me because it would have had long-lasting effects had it been real life. So Negan had a big old bucket of blood that Lucille was blood and guts that Lucille was sitting in, and yes, it was strapped in, but strap in a plastic bucket to your seat, see how well it does in a rollover crash. So the blood and guts went everywhere, all over the car, except for any of Negan's mucous membranes.
Right.
I'm just saying. His face was clean. None of the eyes,
what I will
nose,
say is
none of
that
the mouth.
we always knew that I mean, up until Gabriel getting sick recently, we always kind of figured that just general exposure, not getting bit, was not lethal. So the mucous membranes, no big deal as far as we know.
Yeah, but if he had gotten any when he was when he was passed out or knocked unconscious, if there had been any in his mouth or anything, like
we don't know.
His face was pristine.
It wasn't 100% pristine, but it was pretty pristine. I agree. I mean, we talked about that last night too.
Yeah, so
that he looked pretty good for someone who'd been in that big of a wreck.
Right, and having it been all over the windshield and all over his lap and just. Yeah, I was like, if he'd have gotten any, I mean, maybe he wouldn't have turned, but maybe he would have gotten sick. I mean, eating any amount of desiccated blood and guts that had been sitting in the sun in a bucket or whatever, it would have made you sick. So who knows? Maybe he will get sick. I don't know. Rick did actually connect with Lucille. But Negan is wearing a leather jacket. Maybe it didn't penetrate. I don't know.
And maybe it doesn't work. We don't know.
We don't know. So those were my bads. I had to save up a whole bunch of really tiny little bads because I really liked this episode. So,
but good on you for catching all the continuity errors.
I had help, but yeah. So what was your bad?
Well, my bad was the introduction of the new characters, and not that we got new characters, because I'm actually kind of excited about them. I mean, I think they're an interesting twist. I agree with Enid that the reality of that group actually surviving the way that they're not taking care of themselves is pretty bizarre, but...
It depends. If they are who the scuttlebutt says they are, then...
Do you think they're the Whisperers?
No.
Oh,
I think they're the Commonwealth.
Okay,
There's been a lot of talk online about the Commonwealth.
I am not that far into the comic books. Spoiler, 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 everybody. I don't know the Commonwealth storyline, so...
I've talked about them on the show.
I know you have.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, with the book of knowledge that she had and her linen suit, it has to be the Commonwealth.
But what I will say is, I didn't really feel like they were Scooby-Doo creepy, but they were kind of otherworldly creepy. Like, they didn't really belong, at least Georgie didn't really belong in the zombie apocalypse creepy.
Right.
Georgie stepped out of the pyramid and Stargate creepy.
I mean, you can't get along in the zombie apocalypse. I don't care if you have 2 armed guards without carrying at least a blade. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. She just felt otherworldly and bizarre. So I was excited about their appearance. I'm excited about the idea of a new community. I don't like how they were introduced. I thought it was really stilted, and I thought it was kind of painful.
Like I said, I really want them to be as good as I hope them to be. But after Terminus, after Saviors, I can understand Enid's like, let's just kill them all and take their food. It's what Carl would have wanted.
Which is totally not what Michonne thinks Carl would have wanted.
No, I really want to know what their letters said now. I wonder if he was just giving mixed signals all over the place. Be like, Enid, kill them all, and like, Michonne, peace be with you.
So Rick and Michonne showed up this episode and did not make a big deal out of giving letters to anybody.
There was a little flash of Michonne sitting on the steps to Hilltop with Enid, and Enid reading a letter crying.
Oh, I missed it. I totally missed it.
So
okay.
it was during the scene where Rosita and Maggie are talking about Rick. Will he get over this? And Rosita's like,
Did
you get over it? And she's like, he'll go on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, and that was a very good point. I don't know if you actually get over it, but you go on. So I really liked that interplay between those 2 characters. I liked the interplay between a lot of characters this episode.
Yeah, there were good interactions. I agree.
Yeah. So they flashed when Maggie looked behind her. It was Michonne and Enid sitting on the steps, and Michonne had a letter and she was sobbing. So.
See, I didn't rate it a 3.
As you shouldn't. This was a phenomenal episode.
All right, then, what's your ugly?
My ugly was this entire episode. From the beginning score to the very end with Jadis and Negan. Like, every moment of this episode, like, I found exciting and interesting. Okay, so I watched it last night, and then I did my rewatch tonight, and then when I told you I was taking a bath, I rewatched it in the bath.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I loved this episode. So we had 3 main storylines. We had the Rick and Negan, we had the Dwight and Simon, and we had the ladies of Hilltop and Georgie. And they all paralleled each other, if you notice.
Now I'm going to have to go back and watch it again.
So you had 3 storylines where people went off script. You had Maggie and everyone at Hilltop who was supposed to stay put on Rick's orders, and they didn't. You had Rick, who went off script by engaging in this, what the Saviors were doing. They were not supposed to. This was just supposed to be them scouting and monitoring. They even said over the radio before, when Nick was spying Negan in his 2012 Charger. I think it was big guy with the axe, Jerry. I think it was Jerry on the radio who was like, do not engage. And Rick held his hand over that horn and he didn't blow it. He didn't signal the other Hilltoppers.
Right. He seriously thought about it, but then
Yeah.
went off script. Okay.
Went off script. And so then you have Dwight and Simon who went off script as far as they were just going to... Negan's plan was to go and scare the Hilltoppers.
Oh, and they're going to totally wing it.
And now they're going to go, and Simon's plan is to do it for Negan and kill all the Hilltoppers.
Right.
So you had 3 stories where it all begins with somebody going off script. And then in all 3 of these stories, you have a bargain. You have the Hilltoppers and Georgie's group making a bargain. And you have Rick and Negan. Negan is bartering hard.
Right, he's desperately trying to make a bargain.
Yeah, he is cornered and without loose steel. And he is like, Rick, you can live. You can keep 75% of your stuff. I'll forget about everything. It's totally cool, dude. He is bargaining hard. And then you have Simon bargaining with Dwight going, why don't we just let Negan be dead and do what we're going to do for our survival and the betterment of the Saviors? So in all 3 of these storylines, you have people going off script and what could have happened if maybe they didn't, for good or for bad. And then you have people bargaining for something. So I really, really liked how that all paralleled together.
Okay, I'm not going to say you've 100% sold me on this episode, but you've made me decide that I will go back and watch it again.
I'm so good. See, I lost the guys with the hashtag time's up, hashtag me too, and I brought you back with the parallel storylines.
They've turned it off. They're not listening to you anymore.
You just got to stick with me. You know you do. There's a little bit in there for everybody. So, what was your ugly?
So, my ugly was actually part of your ugly, which I really loved the cold open because I loved the way it set up the relationship between, especially Simon and Dwight, but also Simon, Negan, and Dwight. And really, the cold open was set up with very few words. It was set up mostly with facial expressions and with Bear McCreary's music.
I love that haunting music.
The music was great. It really enhanced that feeling that no one was trusting anyone else.
It just gave you that sinking feeling.
Yep.
I mean, Negan's menacing smile and Simon's concern and Dwight's almost defeat. And then you had Michonne thrown in the mix with her kind of concerned face, too. Yeah, I loved that cold open. Like I said, from beginning of this episode to the final twist ending, I was there.
Well, and somebody mentioned that that we were going to notice that Negan was going to notice Dwight's vest being gone, Daryl's vest being gone. And what does he say to him? He says something like, put on your best vest.
Yeah, so in the last episode, I said that it had come up like twice. And then in the teaser for the next episode, that was part of it, was Negan saying, put on your best vest. And that's not a throwaway.
Right, I mean, we always agree nothing is a throwaway.
Daryl is wearing it, and Dwight is kind of a captive. I mean, not really, but if anybody finds out that, hey, why is Daryl wearing Dwight's vest that was Daryl? Like,
right, how did they come in contact with each other? How did that... And how did Dwight survive that contact?
So we had a couple of new likes for the Facebook page. I don't know if you're new listeners or if you just new likes to the page, but welcome. And that was Dianne Lasorsa.
Dianne Lasorsa. She's not a new listener, but she also commented on the vest.
Yeah, she says, agree. Tara was so annoying this episode, meaning last episode. Fighting in the woods, really. Also, think the vest is going to be a problem for Dwight. So thank you for the feedback. I absolutely agree. That's gotta come up. They keep poking at that. So, yeah.
Since we're on the Facebook page, I want to say thank you to Richard Mark Wilson for listening and for also saying that he was glad to hear that Nick is doing better since his accident, and he really is. So I really appreciate the kindness.
Oh, yeah, that was the other new like.
Yeah, that was a super sweet thing to say, and that's the first time I think I've seen your name, Richard. So welcome.
Yeah, there was 2 new likes to the Facebook page today. So those were the 2. It was Dianne and Richard. And then it was Brian Maloche that said TV by the numbers.
Right.
So thank you, everyone, for the feedback. It's always good. Like us, rate us, subscribe. Find us on Southgate Media Group. Support us on Patreon. There's my plug.
Not Patron, Patreon.
Patreon.
But you can always send me some Patron.
Yeah, send her the Patron. I'm the vodka girl.
I like Patron if it's in a margarita. I definitely am not much of a tequila girl, but give me a margarita any day.
So you could send us both that vodkila, which is
I've never tried vodkila.
Neither have I. It comes up on the Facebook, and it was like basically like how you're gonna die, you know?
How
and it's
funny.
And it comes in one of like the Crystal Head vodka. It comes in a skull. The vodkila comes in a skull too. So. And some really excellent rum I tried in Aruba comes in a glass skull. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to do away with the Real Housewives, just send us the vodkila in the skull.
Any alcohol. I come from a long line of alcoholics. I'm totally up for pickling my liver before the cancer gets me.
I don't even like hearing you say that.
I'm totally kidding.
It's totally not funny.
Oh,
neither the cancer thing nor the pickling your liver thing. Totally not funny.
We're all going to die of cancer. We weren't meant to live this long.
I know. You know, I was laying in a scanner. I had some nuclear medicine testing done yesterday, and I was meditating, and I was, honest to God, meditating. I am of a nature to grow old, get sick, and die, and I will be separated from everything that I love. I am of a nature to grow old and get sick and die, and I will be separated from everything that I love.
So here's the thing. I've seen people have sound bodies with failing minds and failing bodies with sound minds, and I don't know which is worse. So
I definitely think the sound body and the failing mind.
I am totally for going out to a flaming bat to the head. We were all meant to die in combat in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
Very nice.
So I think that moves us into rotting potpourri. What do you think?
It does move us into rotting potpourri. So you go, girl.
So I'm just going to say it and just move on. What Simon said is this year's Just Survive Somehow.
Are you going to get a Just Move On tattoo?
I am. It's going to be JMO. I'm going to have JSS and it's going to be crossed out and it's going to be JMO.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just move on.
That's perfect.
Just move on. Really? Like, just move on.
That is totally perfect.
Yeah. And Hilda and Midge are my kind of peeps.
All for that they are not so bright.
Cheese for Hilda and pickles for Midge. Hell yeah, I'm there. Like, cheese and pickles. That sounds delicious. As long as they're kosher dills. Nobody wants your sweet pickles. That's disgusting.
I agree.
Oh, but that was awesome. I love that. Cheese for Hilda, pickles for Midge. Oh, and so if Midge and Hilda are not like wives, if they're not a couple and they're sisters, maybe Midge and Eugene, we could ship them because they both love pickles.
Smidge? No.
Hey,
doesn't work.
No.
Eugene?
Midgene?
Eugene?
Midgene? Midgene.
We're terrible.
Well, if he's got the primo cukes, he'd be my guy.
I don't know. I'm kind of shipping Georgie and Eugene.
Oh,
Georgie, Eugene, and Midge. I'm shipping the three of them.
Georgie, Eugene, and Midge. Hey, it takes all kinds to make a world. As long as we're all consenting adults, it's fine.
Right. And it harm none.
Yeah. Oh, so did you have anything for Rotting Potpourri?
I did. So one of the things, and this is a spoiler out of the comic book, so if you're not into the books or you don't want to hear a spoiler, this is your warning.
La 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 la.
But when Rick and Michonne arrive at the hilltop, what do we see? But we see the forge featured really prominently. And that was Carl's thing. Like, that was ultimately the thing that in the comic book got Carl to move to Hilltop because he became an apprentice to the guy who was running the forge.
I did not know that, but I actually did notice it because my first thought before Forge was, oh, that is a sweet pizza oven.
But I thought it was weird that they featured it very prominently, and they also featured Daryl standing there very prominently. So, who knows?
Who is finally not getting paid by the line. Jeez. They actually mentioned it on The Talking Dead, how he has just been so in the background this season. He finally got a bunch of lines last episode, but he was super annoying with Tara and Rosita. And this episode, I'm like, that's the Daryl we know. So.
He's actually finally showing his age a little bit.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, it is a good thing. He looked a little pinched around the face. He was a little gray. I was like, Daryl's aging into Daryl. This is good.
It's so unfair. Women get old. Men get distinguished.
Right. It's totally true. Women turn into Georgie and men turn into Daryl.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm picking on that actress and I shouldn't. I love you, Jane Atkinson. I'm sorry. I shouldn't pick on you, but God, that was not a very flattering look.
No, I didn't like the thing that got me was the haircut. Like,
right.
It looked like a bad wig.
She looked much better on Talking Dead.
She did, and she looks much better in her IMDb
photo. Like all of her headshots and
I mean, in House of Cards and in Madam Secretary, everything. She just looks so like. And I noticed that about Tara last episode, where they make her look awful on The Walking Dead, and then you see her in an interview, and you're like, she's really pretty.
Well, you can't all be gorgeous during the zombie apocalypse.
No, definitely not. So, Jane Atkinson, I only wish to look as good as you do at 49, let alone 59, which you are. That you do look amazing. They do definitely do the zombie apocalypse justice by kind of de-prettying most people. Rosita still looks hot,
Rosita will look hot even when she's a shambling corpse.
Yeah, definitely.
Brian.
Yeah, definitely. Negan will always look good. Daryl will always look good. Dwight, I'm sorry they burned your face. You're a good-looking guy otherwise.
All right, what else you got?
That is all that I have. I have a very good thing to leave us on, but that's really all I have for Rotting Potpourri.
Okay,
do you have anything else?
I have to kind of flip through and see if there's anything that I haven't covered, because I didn't have tons, and I used some of it in my good, bad, and ugly. I did write a note about the car. Only because I'm a little bit car obsessed after getting Tulip, but
Oh, and I was like, he's driving Tulip.
I do think that this is our farewell episode for Lucille, so I did write in my notes, adieu, Lucille.
Oh, okay. So I'm so glad you brought that up. I even mentioned when Negan swung the bat at Rick and Rick ducked it, which was an awesome move, by the way. That was amazing choreography. Those two fighting in a room full of burning walkers was like a boss fight on a video game. It was excellent. But slamming Lucille against like a brick wall and a metal door and then setting her on fire and hitting stuff with her, she's already got a bullet in her. Like, how is she not splintered at this point other than being wrapped in razor wire?
Barbed wire, right. I don't know.
I don't know how she has not just disintegrated at this point. So yeah, but I really, really loved that Rick used it against her because Negan's creep factor increased exponentially in this episode with his whole "you look beautiful, baby." Like,
Right.
oh, don't you touch her. Like, I was just like, stop, you're creeping me out. Like, I feel like Lucille needs her own Twitter page with a hashtag #MeTooTimesUp.
Ew.
Like, she's gonna, like, Lucille's gonna come out with her own lawsuit and story, and
That's awesome. You totally need to do that. You need to sell that. You need to write some fan fiction.
Start a Twitter page for Lucille.
Yep.
That's funny.
Well, my only other thing in Rotting Potpourri is the whole no spoken word album rule. Okay, so all I can say is that they are missing out on so much. If they're collecting culture, if they're trying to do that kind of thing for the future, which I think is Georgie's whole plan for collecting albums, they're missing out on so much. I mean, I have W. Kamau Bell's most recent comedy album as a spoken word, and it's hilarious. I love Jello Biafra. His stuff from the 80s is still totally pertinent, politically pertinent 30 years later. How can you refuse spoken word albums? I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, because William Shatner has a great spoken word, too.
You are kidding me.
No.
You're
well, no, I'm
killing
not
me.
kidding you. I'm kidding you that it's great.
That it's great, right.
But I'm not kidding you that he has, like, a spoken word album.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Yep, William Shatner.
He probably enunciates it like this.
He totally does. Lucy in the Sky with Stardust in Her Eyes.
Oh,
it's ingrained into my memory with him speaking it forever.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Yep. It's a thing.
Well, I don't have anything else, so give us your uplift, sister, because I could use it. First world problems and all.
So this kind of goes along with my whole women-centric episode, The Future is Female. But I think it can resonate with all of us in these dark times. You know, we've gone through some stuff lately as a nation and as a world, and just as human beings. You know, we had we're podcasting on Tuesday the 20th, and there's been another bombing in Texas, and they have no leads on the guy. There was another school shooting today, and it's all broken. You know, there's a lot of really bad guys out there, but something that Georgie said in this episode really resonated with me, and it was when she was meeting Maggie and Michonne and Rosita and Enid for the first time. She said, the worst has been outpacing the bad lately, but that won't last forever.
It gave me chills that you said that because I wrote that down, and I loved it.
You and I have been on the same page about a lot of stuff tonight, and, you know, it's not going to last forever. Yeah. We're all going to get through this as a species.
The zombie apocalypse or the planet we're living on currently, because it feels like both.
Well, you know, I'm not sure about the planet because apparently there is some sort of comet or something that's supposedly hurtling towards us. They're working out an issue. It's going to be Armageddon 2. Aerosmith is writing the album right now.
Quickly.
But, you know, like I said, we lost Stephen Hawking last week. And like Neil deGrasse Tyson says, we're all stardust. So the universe is the great recycler. I don't have sort of a theology that I follow, but, you know, we're all made of atoms, and atoms are in everything. So we will go on, you know, in some form or another. So.
Aw, I'm going to have to post Symphony of Science to the Facebook page. You've heard that, haven't you?
I haven't.
Oh, it's amazing. I will post it.
But, you know, this won't last forever. Good or bad, this won't last forever. So just make it good. Just move on. I seriously want that tattoo now.
I no, but I love your idea. JSS crossed out JMO.
Yep. That's going to happen.
Okay. That's going to be your
right.
first tattoo, isn't it?
Second.
Ah.
Yeah, you were the first one in the family to get tattoos. I was the second.
I think I probably have the most still.
You do. You do. But even our mother has one at this point.
Dear God. I need bleach for my eyes now.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I need bleach for my eyes.
We got it for her 55th birthday. That's pretty cool.
All right.
All right.
And on that creepy deepy note.
We women love our ink. The future is female. And
just move on.
Cheese for Hilda and pickles for Midge.
I think we're going to end with that. Cheese for Hilda and pickles for Midge.
Yep.
Everybody have a good week.
Have a good week. And don't forget to take it.
One
dead
day
at a time.
At a time.
Yay.
I'm just going to go with the love it way of doing this from now on.
Leave it in.
That Manuel is angel.
All right, everyone. Have a good day. Have a good week.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.